folks, welcome to episode number 4, Riffin with Jeza. So at this point I haven't released anything. This is just an experiment to see, what I find is that when I'm communicating with other people, and if it's something that my spirit or the universe wants to be heard, then I'll get insights beyond my mind, which is kind of cool. So I have no idea what I'm going to say today. So I'm almost just testing the waters to see, is it possible something cool can come through. So at the moment I'm just I'm in this cute little town in Costa Rica, and it's pretty fucking hot all the time. It's not as bad here as on the plains. It's probably 25, super humid. But yeah, just going for a walk and trying to get into some healthy routines. It's interesting, the last couple of years I've been traveling, and yeah, when you break routine, you can get out of good habits. But there was a time where exercise was almost like biblical for me, where it's like this transmutation of my soul in the pain of exercise. And I have the memory that that's possible. But at the moment, we're still trying to leave the Earth's gravitational pull, which is that addiction to comfort, even though you know that it's just a delusion anyway. But this is probably the second morning I've been out walking, and I'm taking, sometimes I do a walking meditation, other times I just yabber on to friends, and other times I yabber like this. But it's interesting. We'll see where we are in a week when I next do the next podcast, but I have a feeling things will be further ahead. So I've done this so many times where I've got fit and obsessed and healthy, but there's a point where all you have to do is just keep going. You don't have to do a good fucking workout. So I remembered when I used to do it, so I used to do pump, and I just used to love it. And my only rule was turn up. You don't have to do it well. And I became super fit, like where I almost couldn't put on weight if I wanted to. But then, you travel and then put on weight, and then like now I'm not at that level. But I do remember the steps. And one of the steps is just do it no matter what. You don't have to do it well. You just turn up. You lift a feather. You sit there and do fuck all, but you turn up. Because as long as you keep that routine going, it'll happen. And at the moment, I'm in that point where I've just done it a couple times. There's a fair bit of resistance. But I've got a fairly obsessive personality, and I've got the kind of personality that loves routine and structure. So I'm super creative. I love creativity, obviously from my music and stuff like that. But I also, I find having a structure in my life, especially around my body, it's kind of like it grounds me and keeps me centered. And I find I just naturally have a lot of energy to burn. Maybe it's different. Maybe I'm no different to anyone else, I don't know. But I find that I naturally have a lot of energy to burn, so having a physical, even though music and healing stuff is very emotional, for me having a physical outlet is quite helpful. So yeah, so we're early days of this, and so I think this is my only message for today. So this message is around consistency and health practices. And the other thing that came through the other day, like it's really interesting to hear what your spirit tells you in the early hours of the morning. My experience, it's very often the truth. And so, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and my spirit told me, all you got to do is improve. That's it. All you got to do today is just move the needle one step. Because the thing is, what we do, we'll have big goals for the day, but we often bite off too much. And so having tiny goals that you can do, I think, is more important. Having tiny goals but important goals. And so, because momentum is everything. Momentum and feeling of accomplishment is everything. When you don't achieve the goal, even if it was so unrealistic, it deflates your energy. When you do, you feel on structure, on purpose. So it's quite interesting. And I've had this experience, and it popped into my head the other day. So I think these are the two key things. Basically just having incremental, like just setting the goal the night before or first thing in the morning before your day. I think even the night before is better. And have the goal on something that matters, but is 100% achievable. Because basically, so I'll tell you what my goals have been the last couple of days. All my goal has been really is just do 10,000 steps. And to be honest with you, I haven't done that every day, but I've come very close most days. I'm still trying to work out distances, but it was within the realm, so I should be able to manage it today. But essentially that's just been it. So that doesn't mean I don't do other stuff, like I did recording yesterday, I did paperwork and admin bullshit. But it's interesting because when I used to be obsessed with pump, that exercise class, it was a sense of progress that I just found deeply fulfilling. And it got to the point where if I slept in, which was extremely rare, maybe once a month I would. And bear in mind, my classes were 5 a.m. So I had to get up at 4. So occasionally I'd miss it, but I would yell out loud if I slept in. Like that's how much I wanted to go. Because basically when I would go, I'd feel liberation, like I'd feel spiritual liberation. I just feel so much better psychologically. Buenos dias. So I became addicted to that pain and the mental peace that I would get from it. But as I say, like there's a certain amount of momentum needed before the car runs itself. It's like you're pushing a car down a hill, and then it will just travel off its own momentum. And then the spiritual energy you get once it's moving runs the car. It's quite interesting. And so my learnings are, that I'm conveying, are just, if this is in your situation, is just make a decision before the day, night before, preferably, but if needed, before you start in the morning, of just what's something that would move the needle forward that you'd feel fulfilled from. Just one thing, you know, because what happens is you still do other stuff. Like I still did other stuff yesterday, and I didn't even get 10,000 steps. I think I was 9,500. But the point is that I still sort of think I'm pretty happy with that, because I've only just started again. And then you'll still do the other stuff anyway. And then you get the feeling of momentum. So there's a good chance the next time I do the next podcast, I'm going to have another 15% momentum, because I can feel a sniff of this working already, even though this has only been a couple of days. So you focus on the one thing, is what I'd say. But then, with all your might, with all your will, try to make it happen. You know, you don't have to do it well. You just have to show up. So this is my experience of this. You don't have to have fun, because that's just another. Don't put obstacles. And there was a book called The One Thing, and I haven't read it. Maybe I started it, but I think it was just as simple as that. The guy just decided to do one thing. And it sounds obvious, but what it does is it focuses your mind. You get the focus, and it's often a spiritual driven focus. So essentially it's more than just ticking off one thing. It's captivating your spiritual navigation each day. And the reality is, we're going to do stuff anyway, but it's keeping you on track with your spiritual navigation. So at the end of each day, you feel fulfilled, because 100% you're never going to get everything done you want. So it's just a way of harnessing your energy and your focus and creating a new routine that has its own momentum and energy. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. So something came through again. It's kind of fun. So I'm partly doing this stuff because as I'm speaking, I'm actually learning the main things I need to learn. And as I say, if I just yabber without intent, I don't know, there's something about this that's showing me stuff through expressing to someone else. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's see how we are, and next time I feel inspired to do this podcast. At the moment, these podcasts are just through my phones and my earbuds. At some point, we'll do these in the studio on camera, have some music and nice sound. But anyway, this is fine for the moment. This is taking me into the transmission that I'm after. So the next time we chat, hopefully there'll be a different level to this. We'll see. But I'll let you know anyway. But anyway, if you have some experience of this, or if you practice this, let me know your experience, because I think there's something to it, and it's just so obvious that we kind of dismiss it. So, but I'm a little bit excited about the results. And say today, for example, like when I get back, I'll have achieved my one thing. So I'll be at 10,000 steps, and I'm going to the beach today. So there won't be a lot of other stuff done, but when I'm sitting in the car, I'll 100% feel more fulfilled. That's for sure. And so my mood will be better the whole day. And when your mood's better, that brings other things as well. And sometimes it's just, like, it is what it is. So you've got to start somewhere. And so sometimes, I mean, one thing I know is that it can be hard to start this stuff when your mood is crappy. When you start in the beginning of a journey. But as I said, if you just break it, like, all you can do is start where you are. And every day is a new day. And the name of the game is self-respect. Did you feel that you did your best today? That's it. And that's the only person that matters. Like, you've been accountable to yourself. Like, you know the truth. Like, you know what is your best and what's manageable. You know, you're not going to be a superhero in one day. But it's just the name of the game is just, at the end of the day, will you feel happy? Will you feel content, you know, that you gave it a crack? So, boy, oh boy, it's hot. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so I'll be sitting in the car going to the beach, and I'll probably have a 10-minute sunbake on the beach. I'm not into that really, but I'll probably have a little one and a swim or whatever. But when I'm doing those activities, 100% there'll be more contentment flowing through my body. I mean, as well as just the physical ease from using it and using the body. You know, because the sweat is releasing toxins and all the bullshit in the atmosphere and that we consume. So there's benefits to that. It's taking pressure off the liver, poor old liver. So yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of my thinking. That's my focus for today. Thinking about one thing you can do to move the needle forward that day or the next day, and then focusing on that one thing. And you're just trying to focus on improvement. And so basically, when this 10,000 steps thing becomes automated, you know, then I'll probably add in one strength exercise a day. You know, a bunch of push-ups or something, or planks or whatever. It's not going to be that much either, but it's just going to be, I'm just going to do one step at a time, and until that thing is automated. I really think that's the key. So anyway, if you have thought, like if you try this, let me know in the comments or whatever way. I'm interested to know your experience and how it works for you, because yeah, this is something that I think is, I'm getting a clear feeling on this, so this is something I think is real. So yeah, so that's it, episode 4. Pretty interesting. As I said, I had no plans, but it's interesting this has come through today. And see you for next episode. Riffin with Jeza, we're riffin with Jeza.